Good morning, everyone. Welcome and thank you for coming this morning. My name is Dennis Kunimoto. I'm the Acting Dean for the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry here at the University of Alberta. It's my honor and privilege to act as your MC for this morning's program. Just first like to take a minute to thank all our partners, supporters, friends, colleagues, and the media for joining us on this very special occasion. I'd also like to begin with a respectful acknowledgement that we are located on Treaty 6 territory, traditional lands of First Nations and Métis people. I'm honored to welcome several special guests to this morning's celebration: Dr. Dianne and Irving Kipnes, Dr. Verna Yu, President CEO, Alberta Health Services, Dr. David Turpin, President Vice Chancellor, University of Alberta, Ms. Joyce Malman-Law, President, University Hospital Foundation, Mr. Bob Bessette, Board Member and past Chair, University Hospital Foundation, and Dr. David Eisenstadt, Chair, Department of Oncology, University of Alberta. And in a minute, you'll have an opportunity to hear from each of them. In the health sciences, we face the challenges of finding answers for questions about illnesses and disorders that are difficult to decipher. Some health issues are more poorly understood than others, some better understood. But it is our mission to try and provide solutions to both common conditions and to those that are poorly understood. These investigations, however, cannot be carried out in isolation. Collaboration allows us to do more. It has been the longtime vision of our Dean, Dr. Richard Fedoruk, to work in collaboration with public and private organizations and strengthen our bonds with the communities we serve. We especially value our collaboration with people whose leadership and support drives innovation and discovery in areas that remain under-researched. To tell us more about the ways in which our supporters can transform healthcare and shine a light on the unknown, it is now my pleasure to welcome and introduce the President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Alberta, Dr. David Turpin. David.
Well, thank you, Dennis, and good morning, everybody. There is a cure for every health challenge facing the world today, and that cure is research. The University of Alberta has a history of world-changing research breakthroughs in medicine, and it seems like every day we are sharing news of yet another exciting new development. However, with philanthropic investment, we accelerate the pace of discovery and innovation. In collaboration with our partners, we shorten the time it takes for ideas to move from the lab to the clinic to everyday use. Dianne and Irving Kipnes appreciate the power of research to make an enduring difference in our society. And like many people who give to support medical research, their motivation is deeply personal. Dianne is a cancer survivor. For Dianne and 60% of cancer patients, a condition called lymphedema becomes an excruciating part of life. Lymphedema can be painful and debilitating. It is a chronic condition that causes tissues to swell. If left untreated, there is a risk of loss of a limb or limb function or chronic infections. Even though it affects the lives of around 300,000 Canadians, lymphedema is poorly understood. Dianne's search for knowledge has led her and her husband to become a driving force for better research and therapeutic treatments to help people living with lymphedema. They helped establish both the Alberta Lymphedema Network, a province-wide network of educators and researchers on lymphatic diseases and the lymphatic system, and supported the lymphatic imaging suite at the University of Calgary. However, they wanted to do even more and saw the potential for accelerating research through the University of Alberta. The result is the exciting news I have the pleasure of sharing with you today. I am honored to announce that Dianne and Irv Kipnes are donating $5 million to establish Canada's first research chair in lymphatic disorders. Diane and Irv, thank you for your leadership. You will help shine a light on a condition few know about, let alone understand. The Dianne and Irving Kipnes Chair in Lymphatic Disorders means hope for hundreds of millions of people around the world who are affected by lymphedema. So thank you. We have come a long way in confronting cancer. In Canada, treatment and prevention, from chemotherapy to public education, saved an estimated 180,000 lives between 1989 and 2012. And yet lymphedema, which affects almost 2/3 of cancer survivors, remains one of the least researched complications of cancer. But lymphedema is not just a concern for cancer survivors. In fact, an estimated 85% of lymphedema cases are non-cancer related. There is a lot of ground to make up in understanding lymphedema. So far, drug treatments have proved ineffective, while existing methods to reduce swelling provide only limited relief over the long term. The Dianne and Irving Kipnes Chair in Lymphatic Disorders marks a turning point in our understanding of these diseases. Over time, we will see new diagnostic techniques, new treatments, and new technologies that will tackle lymphedema at the root. These advances will be pioneered right here, with Albertans the first to benefit through clinical trials. Dianne and Irv, I can promise you that this gift, along with the amazing momentum you have already established through your generosity in this area, will make the University of Alberta a world leader in lymphatic disease research. Thank you for your commitment, your passion, your generosity, and above all, your leadership in this community. Thank you both. The University Hospital Foundation has been a key partner in our health research for many decades, connecting the generosity of their community of donors to the work of our faculty, the University of Alberta Hospital, the Mazankowski Alberta Heart Institute, and the K Edmonton Clinic. The foundation and the university have built a deep and long-term relationship. Together, we have fostered a tradition of exceptional support for patients, researchers, and health practitioners in this community. Our partnership makes a real difference in people's lives. Joining us today is Bob Bessette, past chair of the University Hospital Foundation. Please join me in welcoming Bob, who has additional news to share about the new Dianne and Irving Kipnes Chair in Lymphatic Disorders. Bob.
Thank you, President Turpin. It is my pleasure to be here this morning. I've known Dianne and Irv Kipnes for many years through business and the community and our friendship. I served as chair of the University Hospital Foundation, where I saw firsthand the impact of their incredible generosity. Together, they have advanced the Foundation's mission to change and save lives at the University of Alberta Hospital, the Mazankowski Alberta Heart Institute, and the K Edmonton Clinic. In 2017, in recognition of their tremendous philanthropic leadership, the University Hospital Foundation awarded Irv and Dianne our highest honor, the Peter Lougheed Award for the Advancement of Health Sciences. The Lougheed Award was created to recognize outstanding community leadership and the support that benefits patient care and medical research at the University of Alberta Hospital site. As you likely already know, Dianne and Irv, as individuals and as a couple, are passionate volunteers and generous donors who bring all of us in the community into share the causes they support. They have always been leaders who put their weight behind causes that they believe in, guiding us through challenges until success is achieved. Irv joined the University Hospital Foundation Board in 2002, at the time for what was a 6-year term. He's still with us and remains involved almost every day. The Dianne and Irving Kipnes Foundation has generously supported every major capital campaign the University Hospital Foundation has taken to the community, including the Working Wonders campaign, the Mazankowski Alberta Heart Institute campaign, the Campaign for Prostate Health, and currently the Brain Center campaign. Today, Dianne and Irv are once again leading the way to make life better for people with another serious health condition, lymphedema. As you've already heard from Dr. Turpin and Dr. Kunamoto, the impact of lymphedema is far-reaching. The board of the University Hospital Foundation shares with Irv and Dianne the firm belief that transformational research that changes the course of patient care begins with the recruitment of world-class researchers. That's why I'm announcing today a $1 million gift from the University Hospital Foundation, matching a $1 million gift from Irv and Dianne, to create an establishment grant that will enable us to attract and recruit a world leader in research for the Dianne and Irving Kipnes Chair in Lymphatic Disorders with the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry at the University of Alberta Hospital. The Foundation is very proud to partner with you, Irv and Dianne, with the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry and Alberta Health Services in a quest to improve the lives of people living with lymphatic disorders. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. What wonderful news. So doing the math, of course, that means $7 million towards this lymphatic chair. So we would like to just thank, again, Diane and Irving Kipnes, and of course the University Hospital Foundation and its donors for the generosity. So this obviously builds on the momentum already created by Dianne and Irving in the area of lymphatic disease. The new chair will have access to the Northern Alberta Clinical Trials and Research Center at the U of A, which is a U of A and Alberta Health Services joint venture that basically accelerates clinical research so that treatments can move from the lab into mainstream medicine much more quickly. The Dianne and Irving Kipnes Chair in Lymphatic Disorders will also be connected to the Cancer Research Institute of Northern Alberta, called Karina, which is the largest comprehensive cancer research institute in Western Canada. Karina brings together more than 300 leading cancer researchers and clinicians. Dr. David Eisenstadt is a neuro-oncologist and clinician scientist. He's currently the chair of the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry's Department of Oncology, but in the past he served in multiple leadership positions, including as the former co-director of Karina. Here to speak on the impact of this gift that we'll have on research, please welcome Dr. David Eisenstadt.
Good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here, not just as the chair of the Department of Oncology, but the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry. We're really at a crunch time in terms of funding for innovation and research, and it really is wonderful that we have the University Hospital Foundation in partnership with the Kipnes family to show such leadership. I would say such courage to take on a disorder that most of you had never heard of before. As a pediatric oncologist, we don't really see a lot of lymphedema. We see some congenital or rare inherited disorders that affect the developing lymphatic system. But it's in our adult cancer patients, our patients with obesity, trauma, chronic infection, that we see the bulk of the lymphedema cases. Yet if you look far and wide around the world, how many people are actually studying this in a meaningful way? Very few. Are there any endowed chairs outside of North America? Not that I'm aware of. In fact, in North America, nothing. So this is really transformational. It's courageous. It's taking an underdog disease and saying, we're going to study it. Now, lymphedema can be due to many, many causes. And so the type of researcher we're looking for to chair this has to be, first and foremost, world-class and expert in their field. And in order to do that, we have to empower them with appropriate startup. So the partnership with the University Hospital Foundation, that $2 million, really allows us to do that. Furthermore, the type of research that we're looking for has to be innovative and ultimately practice-changing. So if we bring in a PhD scientist, we're making sure to link them with our translational science institutes, including Karina, to ensure access to our clinical colleagues, clinical trials, NACTRAC, etc. So we're not just going to bring in someone and leave them alone. We're going to encourage them, we're going to support them, and make sure that this tremendous investment leads to impact for our patients in the future. So I think this is absolutely wonderful, and I welcome all of you to think about how each and every one of you can think about other disorders that are underdog that you and others know about and bring them to our attention, because we have an opportunity with wonderful donors like the Kipneses and our foundations to make a difference. So I didn't really want to say anything else other than research is really going to power innovation and improve healthcare outcomes. I believe that, and I think all of you do as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Eisenstadt. In our quest to help improve the well-being of the people in this province, Alberta Health Services is our biggest partner. Dr. Verna Yu, an alumna and professor of pediatrics at the University of Alberta, is a pediatric nephrologist and is the president and CEO of Alberta Health Services. Dr. Yu has been consistently recognized for her outstanding leadership, which focuses on strengthening partnerships and collaborations between our health system, our health foundations, academic institutions, and the communities we serve. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Verna Yu.
Thanks very much, Dennis, and good morning to everyone. It's really an honor to be here to recognize the Dianne and Irving Kipnes Foundation for their $6 million commitment and the University Hospital Foundation for their $1 million commitment towards establishing the Dianne and Irving Kipnes Chair in Lymphatic Disorders. Alberta Health Services is incredibly fortunate to have individuals like Dianne and Irv who generously donate their time, their talent, their resources in advancing research and medical care for Albertans. We've all heard about their philanthropic supportive organizations like the Foundation and the University of Alberta, but just to say that their impact on the millions of people is really not really an understatement. We're grateful to Dianne and Irv for their heartfelt and generous support of numerous AHS projects and initiatives. You've heard around how they've advanced cardiac care through support of the Mazankowski Alberta Heart Institute, the leading fundraising efforts towards creation of the C.J. Woods Prostate Health Clinic, and helping to accelerate cancer research by partnering with the Alberta Cancer Foundation with a $5 million endowment of a research chair at the Cross Cancer Institute. We also want to thank them for their remarkable contribution to the U of A today. This gift will make an extraordinary difference towards advancing research and innovation related to lymphatic diseases, and the discoveries made through this gift will surely benefit Albertans for years to come. In addition to recognizing Dianne and Irv, I'd also to thank Bob Bessette and Joyce Malman Law and the rest of the University Hospital Foundation, the board and the staff for your ongoing commitment towards advancing philanthropy. Your astounding contributions towards research and innovation continues to help AHS increase the margin of excellence and improve the experience of our patients, families, and our staff. And thank you to David Turpin and the U of A team for their continued partnership with Alberta Health Services. We're grateful because we need to work together to discover new medical knowledge and courses of treatment for our patients. And together we know that we can accomplish amazing things every day. So thank you very much.
And now it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Diane Kipnes. Dr. Kipnes knows firsthand about living with lymphedema, as you've heard. A retired social worker and psychologist, she co-chairs the Dianne and Irving Kipnes Foundation, which centers its philanthropy in the areas of art, medicine, and education. Her honors include the Queen Elizabeth Jubilee Diamond Medal, an honorary degree of law from the University of Alberta, and the Alberta Centennial Medal. And in addition, this past June, Dr. Kipnes, along with her husband Irving, received the Order of Canada, the highest honor, of course, in our country. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Diane Kipnes.
Underdiagnosed, unrecognized, untreated, unresearched, and as Dr. Eisenstadt says, an underdog disorder. I love it. Underdog, loser, small fry, runner-up, second best. All true, but today, this gift gives hope to change all of that. I am able to stand here today, and I emphasize stand, for two reasons. One, I am alive because of my successful treatment for cervical cancer at the Cross Institute in 2004. And two, I have been continuously treated for lymphedema, a surprise announcement from my body to me in 2009. 5 years after my diagnosis for cancer, following a visit to a concentration camp in Berlin, I returned to my hotel room to find that my legs had swelled to 3 times their size and were covered with large, red, scaly patches. I was misdiagnosed in Berlin and in Paris with an allergy, an insect bite, or perhaps a psychological reaction to the horrors of Sachsenhausen. Antibiotics were ineffective. Returning to Edmonton, my urologist, Dr. Chetner, correctly diagnosed cellulitis, and on my last 5-year visit to the Cross and my successful discharge from cancer treatment, my oncologist, Dr. Capstick, diagnosed lymphedema. This diagnosis yielded no research, little treatment, and sparse education for the public or the medical profession. Fortunately, a fellow opera board member, Katie Souls, announced that her husband was a water-trained therapist who treated lymphedema, one of the few in the city. Although everyone has different degrees of impairment, lymphedema is difficult to live with. It involves swelling without remittance, disfigurement, weight gain, shame, frustration, for me, difficult walking, pain, and fatigue. Without treatment, the swelling remains. Mobility is impaired, work becomes impossible. Open sores develop and infection sets in. If infection travels to the bone, amputation may be necessary. When Ian Souls agreed to work with me, I wanted every possible treatment available to avoid the conditioning worsening. Actually, I wanted a cure. That's what I really wanted. I had massage 5 days a week. I wore my legs wrapped in bandages for 2 years. Every influence we could think of that affected my legs was charted. Atmospheric pressure, stress, medication, diet, exercise, mood. I had a personal trainer. I consulted a dietitian. I consulted a geriatrician. There was no research to guide our decisions, either etiologically or clinically. And although the physical limitations of this disorder are difficult, the worst days I had were those in which I lost hope. The despair was worse than the illness. I could cope with bandaged legs and disfigurement, baggy clothes to cover them, ugly boots, but I had great difficulty dealing with despair. The antidote to despair is action. And if I had a difficult time with this disorder, there must have been many others who were having a worse time than I was. In the next 10 years, several initiatives were started. Ian and I opened a lymphatic clinic in 2010, which Ian runs with water-trained therapists. A website was established. Hits on the website were 6,100 last year. and not just from Edmonton or Alberta. We found a lymphatic researcher, Dr. Pierre-Yves Vonderweed at the University of Calgary. A 10-year research program was initiated. A group of multidisciplinary researchers from the University of Calgary and the University of Alberta, called the Alberta Lymphedema Network, was formed. It includes researchers from the fields of nanotechnology, biology, and metabolomics, and welcomes real researchers from all fields. Recently, a patient support group formed in Edmonton, so welcome addition of patients supporting each other and advocating for research and education. We are so proud of the work that has been done, but for Irv and me, we want to ensure that our knowledge about this condition is available to others. A chair studying lymphatic disorders will be, we believe, the first in North America. The study of this underdog disease will impact not only lymphedema, but the role of the lymphatic system in multiple other disorders. The University of Alberta, the Department of Medicine, and the University Hospital Foundation have collaborated to bring this gift to fruition. Dr. Fedorak, who attended our first AllNet meeting and has been a supportive president since our inception, deserves so much credit for this chair. Dr. Kunamoto and Dr. Eisenstadt have continued to move this initiative forward. The University Hospital Foundation, as you have heard, has matched our $1 million gift to enable the search for the chair to begin. Dr. Cyril Kay and Dr. Tony Fields have encouraged us from the beginning, providing much needed wisdom and guidance throughout the formation of AllNet, the research proposals, and so much more. My personal trainer, who is here, is now an expert in getting the lymph to flow. And Ian, of course, who has been working in this field for 30 years. This day is a tribute to your perseverance on behalf of your patients and gratitude for your persistence. And my thanks, because without you, I would not be standing here. Every summer, I see a woman wheeling down White Avenue in a wheelchair, going at impossible speeds. Her left leg is large and elevated. She has an open sore on the top of her leg, often weeping. I wonder if she has lymphedema and if she has treatment. This gift is for her.